Hey, this is Chris, the Idaho Painter. Thanks for watching this free lesson on how to epoxy a garage floor. If you want to see more of my comprehensive course, it's at paintlifesupply.com. It goes over estimating, it goes over marketing, it goes over all the steps to complete a professional garage epoxy floor. So hopefully you enjoy this lesson. Thank you for watching. All right, so we're going to be talking about broadcasting flakes, Tony. And broadcasting flakes, we have a couple of options. We've got a full broadcast and we got a sparse broadcast. I mean, I think I prefer a full broadcast. Is there any benefits to actually broadcasting flakes on an epoxy floor?
Well, so no durability benefits. The benefits you're going to receive are hiding dirt, debris, and scratching. So that full flake is really going to give you those attributes, where a sparse flake, you're going to see a little bit more of that, as well as leave yourself open to the homeowner not liking the flakes in one area compared to another.
All right, so I've got a solid color floor, and what I've noticed over the years, scratches show up everywhere. You drag a cardboard box in, it scratches it. With a full flake floor, you're not going to have that problem?
Yeah, you might have scratches that appear in the coating, like that are in the coating, but you're not going to visualize them. You're not going to see them because those flakes will mask that.
I know a solid color, also my floor, I'm always mopping it and stuff and cleaning it. Snow sloughs off my vehicles. It leaves black dirt and grime, so a flake floor is going to help hide that.
Definitely will help that.
Yeah, one of the colors I chose for this floor we're going to be doing is this color option right here, and I think for our climate up here, that's going to really hide the snow, dirt, black dirt, and grime on the floor. The floor is not going to look so dingy and dirty like all winter long. So, do you think that's am I safe to assume that?
You are safe to assume, and that particular color that you chose is probably going to be one of the best in masking the dirt that will appear in this type of climate.
And so if you're new watching this course, so broadcasting flakes, I've used like mechanical devices, in the past, like a little weed spreader, but it's probably, there's multiple different flake options now, and it's probably, not a good idea to broadcast them using like a device, but you just throw them out with your hands. Is that how you do it?
Yeah, so the majority of time we're going to be utilizing just a bucket and just throwing them in the air and letting them fall on a full broadcast.
So there's nothing, no science behind it and everything. We're just tossing them in the air, letting them fall down, and eventually scraping them and cleaning up, everything, and then top coating it.
You are correct. I would say the only science that goes into it is just making sure any spot that's wet receives some flakes.
Yep, there we go. So back in my day, when early on in my career, there was only one option of flakes. Now there's all kinds of options. So you have, small flakes, tiny flakes. You got flakes that look like I can salt and pepper my food with. And these look almost edible. You've got, is it just endless how many options you have?
Yes, today they keep pushing the envelope of options, and it's amazing. Just when you think, okay, they can't add anything else, they add something that'll maybe look like a terrazzo floor, or recycled glass in your floor, or glitter in your floor. And so there's tons of customization options. I think though, to keep it simple, use a 1/4 inch flake. It masks all your surface imperfections.
So would this be a 1/4 inch flake right here?
Yeah, this should be the 1/4 inch right there. 1/4 kind of looks similar.
If you don't want your floor to look like, a flake floor of 20 years ago, what would you do?
Yeah, great question. So you can do the hybrids, or you could utilize something where you broadcast sparsely a larger flake and then broadcast it to rejection with the full flake, and that'll give you a unique look that your neighbors likely don't have.
That sounds pretty cool. So these flakes, what are these flakes even made of?
They're made of acrylic. The super top secret, we're not really certain of because the manufacturer won't let anyone know.
Right. I think there's only a few manufacturers of these flakes. Isn't that true?
There are 2 manufacturers that are in the United States currently.
Does Rust-Oleum sell the flakes? And if so, how do we get a hold of them?
Yeah, great question. So we do sell the flakes. They're usually going to be available at a local Rust-Oleum Seal Crate dealer. And if one of the stocked type blends isn't of interest, we can completely customize it.
Cool, that's good to know. So we'll leave the links, where you can actually get the flakes, get the products right here in this video. So there's flake options. So you've got a lot of different options, to make your floor look unique, make it look cool, flake it to hide scratches or to hide imperfections, in the concrete, to hide dirt, debris, stuff like that. So you can either do a floor that's solid color, sparse flaked, or full flaked.
So whenever we're doing a flake floor, we want to make sure we have the same batch code. And so here you can see we have our mushroom and then we have our lot number, and that's going to be our batch code. And we want to make sure that all matches. Another tip is to also open up the boxes you're going to use on this project. Make sure they're the flakes that you wanted. It has happened periodically where it's not the right blend inside the box. There's a mislabeling, very infrequent though. Another thing we do when we open up these boxes is we're actually gonna blend the flakes with our hands a little bit because they get clumped and compressed down here. And what you'll find when we pour this bag out is the very end is gonna have a lot of fine particles. They're gonna go in the bucket. We're gonna do our best not to get those all over the floor. We wanna make sure we're throwing the big flake, not the crushed ones. As you can see, I'm even gonna inner blend the flakes out of the box by not filling one bucket with one box. Make sure to keep your box and your bag because there's a good chance you're going to reclaim a lot of this tomorrow, and that way you can store it for the next job. Where you're going to make money on the flake is utilizing similar blends frequently, because anything that we don't scrape, we're going to be able to reclaim and then utilize on the next job, which is just money in your pocket. The flakes are purchased by the box, 40 pounds being the most common. The coverage rate we're going for today is between 5 to 8 square feet per pound.
So there's different methods of broadcasting your flakes. You can do a sparse flake floor, and if you're doing a sparse flake floor, you're just going to be broadcasting your flakes sparsely, and I'll just be tossing them in the air just like this, getting a sparse broadcast. Now it all just depends on what the customer wants. You can get a sparse broadcast like that. You can do a medium broadcast and do a little bit more. We're going to be doing a full broadcast, so we're going to be covering this whole floor with our flakes.
So what I see when I look out here is we're just hitting the floor the first time. Then we're gonna come back over it again. But you can see where it's soaked in a little bit, where maybe we didn't get as many flakes, or we have a little bit thicker mill thickness there. That might cause it to look different. So we just wanna make sure when we get done, we come back and hit everything that might look a little shiny still. Yeah, so when we get done with this, we're gonna let it cure about 16 to 20 hours. Come back, leaf blow all the excess flake into a corner. We're gonna be able to reclaim and reutilize that because everything's gonna be dry. Once we put our scrapers on the floor, then that flake goes right in the trash.